Okay, everybody, I promise I'll never make another video, but I want to have this little video be a nice summary as to what all I've been through regarding these Disklaviers and these Mark IVs that I upgrade to DKC900s and also E3s. And I just want to show you the best way now after having been through this so many times. And there are some gray areas still, but for the most part, this is how I think these should be set up, okay? So, all right, so this thing right here, this is called a switch box, okay? That thumb drive right there just has some extra Yamaha music on it. As far as these settings are concerned, you see those little switches right there. I do not like autoplay at all. That means when you turn on the piano, it just starts playing all by itself. So I turn that off. As far as auto off is concerned, I do like that because then the piano will go to sleep if nobody pays attention to it. And so all you do is come over here and push that little power button right there. See that little power button right there to wake him back up again. And on the front, the green lights turn off and the blue light goes pale. Okay, so anyway, notice how nice all of this is, nice and clean. And then that thing, I just stick that on the bottom right there. And then I already went through and I made a video on how to calibrate your pedals so that this thing will play really nicely. And then of course I did a super nice job, really super clean. Everything looks really good. And this is exactly, I'm happy. This is how I want this thing to turn out. I've got a nice ground connection coming from my CC unit over here. And then, so you need one ground that goes there. And then the other ground, I connect it to the power supply. And I just very carefully put a small screw right there. And obviously I don't hit the circuit board inside, but that gives me a super solid connection. When your power supply is working right, you have 3 solid lights and 1 flashing light, so that's good. I've had it quite a few times where this cable right here is simply unplugged. And so quite often when the whole piano's off, I will very carefully unplug that and plug it back in again. But I will tell you though, be careful. Oh, I was gonna grab a gray marker. I have a little silver marker and I'll mark it right there and right there because it's easy to bend those pins. And once you bend them, they break and you're toast. So be careful if you do unplug that. Like I said, I usually mark it and plug it back in again because I've had quite a few times where that, like I said, wasn't plugged in or it simply needed to be like refreshed, as in you unplug it, plug it back in again, which kind of cleans the electrical contacts. And then the same thing goes with that stuff over here, okay? And so then I've got, this green and blue wire that comes over here to the CC unit. And as far as the CC unit is concerned, look how, get right here. Look how beautiful this is. I mean, this is just really absolutely how you want this thing to be. Notice I've got my WIDI Master, and that is the device that I officially recommend now. This thing is sweet. I love it. And remember, the fat end always goes into the MIDI out, okay? And then the thinner end goes into the MIDI in. Then, of course, I've got my Bros Trend right here, and I installed a nice power strip. And nowadays, I just use this double-sided sticky tape because I don't like drilling holes all over the place. And it's really clean, and it actually makes it faster and easier for me to do all this stuff. So I put the power strip in there, put the Bros Trend right there. And once again, 2 solid blue lights. I don't know, I can't get in there. There you go. That means you have a nice solid connection with your Wi-Fi. Okay, so, and then I put the AC adapter for this CC unit right there. And then I'm back to recommending this Hockey Puck Wii Mini most of the time. Sometimes that Bluetooth device that I talk about comes in handy. Today I had this thing join the Wi-Fi and it fought me a little bit and I had to do it twice. But this thing is actually better because it can handle the data better. Because there's, coming from especially from the analog side of Piano Stream where we have these big wave files, this thing can handle it better. And but the thing that I like about it the most is that it comes with everything you need, right from right from Amazon, as in this little power adapter and this 1/8 inch to RCA, which you'll actually plug in right there to the red and the white. See that? Just directly above this Ethernet cable. So that's the output of the hockey puck, okay? And then I showed in a video, you can push and hold the play button to reset it so that you can have it join your Wi-Fi again. And then I usually have these volume buttons. I usually turn it up most of the way just by pushing that plus button until it beeps a little bit, and then I actually bring it down maybe twice, because it's usually plenty loud. And then as far as all this stuff is concerned, I just do a super clean job, and you don't need to see all those connections. But anyway, I just think now, once again, that this is, from all of my experience, this is the best way that I've come up with. I'm sure everybody has their own ways, but I've done so many of these that I think this is the best way, especially, so that you can use the Enspire app and so that you can use Piano Stream. And it's just having all this be, nice and clean and beautiful, and having your pedals adjusted properly. Oh man, you're in business. So, and then maybe having a little extra Yamaha music on that thumb drive right there. So, okay. All right. I just wanted to share that with all of you, and we'll talk to you soon. One more view of that beauty right there. I know I kind of get into this stuff. It's pretty cool. Okay. All right. See ya.